Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy podcast. I am your host, Justin Wink, here live to talk to you about one of the biggest obstacles when it comes to getting into meditation, and that is the time investment. Now, a lot of people mistakenly think, okay, if I get into meditation, this is something, one, it's going to take me a long time to learn. I am going to have to do an entire weekend is gone, or maybe it's going to even take like an entire month. I'm going to have to go find a place up in the hills, and I'm going to have to be away. I would love to do that. I'd love to go on a meditation retreat and learn all this, but I don't have the time. And once I get to doing that, then, oh my gosh, what is it? Like you got to do an hour in the morning, an hour at lunch, and an hour at night. I don't have time. I've got a job. I've got a family. I've got racquetball. When am I going to fit in racquetball with all this meditation, these 3+ hours of meditation? Stop. You do not need to invest all that time. If you can, fantastic. Because like most things in life, we get out what we put in. So if you are able to do that, fantastic. Kind of like, the bodybuilder who's spending 3 hours in the gym, going to have a different body than, me with my, when I'm doing well, I'm doing maybe 20 to 30 minutes 3 times a week. Again, if you have different goals, you get different outcomes based on different amounts of effort put in. So the biggest thing to know is that you do not need to spend a ton of time learning to meditate or in the practice of meditation. And one of the great meditation masters, Sakyong Mipam Rinpoche, he calls this the 10% advantage in one of his books. Because I actually learned to meditate at a Shambhala Meditation Center in Davis, California, while I was in grad school. It was back in a time where I was deeply unhappy. I was working on my Ph.D. and I had enough time to allow thoughts and feelings to start to come up. I'd kind of gotten into therapy and the feelings became way too overwhelming, and I ended up depressed, went and saw a psychiatrist, got a medication. It was one of those that I was like, I'm doing this reluctantly. I don't want to be on these pills for the rest of my life. I want to find a better way to handle, my emotions and the day-to-day and things like that. And that's when I really started to put a lot of effort into finding out more about meditation. And I hit a lot of the same roadblocks, probably as many of you may or may not have run into yet. The financial investment, the time investment. I was real fortunate that this Davis Shambhala Meditation Center offered free meditation instruction. And it was nearby, and it was a 1 hour time investment to learn. And then they gave me a little practice that I could do short amounts of time. Because Sakyong Mipam Rinpoche, he calls it the 10% advantage, in that you don't need to go all in. You don't need to try for 100% change overnight. He says just go for 10% change in your attitude, 10% of going from your habitual ways of being to a little bit different. And this can be done with even just 5 or 10 minutes of meditation a day. And so we've all got 5 or 10 minutes. Now, I start to sometimes argue about this because everyone's got something that if you just do this for 5 or 10 minutes, and it's like, well, ends up being 100 of these. But from my experience, this is one of the 5 or 10 minutes that will definitely give you back your time. If at least not 1-to-1, you probably get even more time back than you put into it. Because what is the cost of time of being indecisive? Of that, I don't know, what should I have for dinner? Should I have Thai food? Should I have Mexican food? Should I have burgers? How much time is wasted in that indecisiveness in just something as simple as what to have to eat? And meditation, one of the things that it can give you is insights into what you truly desire. And, what you want to eat is a very simplistic part of that. But it's just a simple example that I think we can all relate to. So just being like, I know what I want. Breakfast burrito. Boom. Time saved. Time saved, ladies and gentlemen. And you can't put a price on time because time is the one thing that passes and we never get it back. So 5 or 10 minutes a day is all you need to get to meditating. And it's kind of like the gym. It's like physical exercise. You do a little bit and you get big returns. And I would say that this 10% advantage came at a time when we probably were expecting a little bit more out of things. Nowadays, the stock market, we don't even see sustained returns of 10%. So I'm going to underpromise that meditation gives you a 1% advantage, but a 1% advantage over time, compounded, gives you exponentially beneficial results in return on your life, which I know I've absolutely seen. Just these little bit, because could you imagine if just 1% of the time that instead of habitually going for that bad food or that bad drink, that you picked something a little bit more beneficial? It's huge. If just 1% of the time, instead of yelling at somebody in anger or firing off that tweet or that text, that you held back and then maybe said something or sent something a little bit more loving. These are things that really start to compound in a most beneficial way, similar to putting away that extra, 1% of our income into a 401k and investing wisely over time. So this really is your 401h. It's investing in your happiness, and it really can take as little as 10 minutes a day. And it's one of these, the best time to get started was, 12 years ago, because I've been doing a yoga teacher training and reading the Hatha Pradipika. Anyway, it's one of the fundamental texts of Hatha Yoga. And in it, it says that it takes about 12 years to go from being a beginner in yoga to sort of kind of starting to know what you're doing, which in some ways can sound very disappointing. But in other ways, if you look at the entirety of your life, spanning hopefully well over 12 years, that 12 years to be able to be in touch with yourself and have a greater understanding of all of reality, your wishes and desires, really not too bad of a time investment. So again, best time to start was 12 years ago. Second best time to start is now. And if you're having a hard time getting started, you're not sure what type of meditation or other aspects of it, I'm doing a webinar. So I'll make sure that in the show notes of this that you can find a link to it. It's free, be about an hour. We're going to go over some obstacles, and we're going to go over a little bit of how to meditate. And I've developed this meditation. I call it the Perfect Life Meditation. I've been giving away a free audio of that, but if you want a live guided meditation, that'll also be part of this webinar. It'll be coming up on this Thursday. Thursday, May 14th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you're catching this late, if you're catching a replay of this, the goal is to have that recorded so you can catch the recording and get all that yummy meditative goodness, all for free to get into this. And I'm here to help you out. So if you got any questions, hit me up at Emotions Engineering on Facebook, e-motionsengineering.com. And looking forward to helping you out on this journey and start getting that 1% advantage. All right, everybody. Been great talking to you. Thank you very much.